welcome, guys. I hope you're having a beautifully, phenomenally blessed day. Thank you for joining me for a moment with yours truly. And today we are going into prophetic visions. Just want to let you guys know it is a true honor to be giving these to you. And I really do hope that they help you along your journey and help remind you that you do have the power in your own life, okay? So this is going to be a pretty short message, but it was really interesting what came into me, and that was the fact that you guys maybe have started a new position somewhere, or you're undertaking a new endeavor, and it's very creative, and you're enjoying it, and you're very excited about it, which is great. And Source wants you to know they're so proud that you're excited about it. This has definitely been a gift given to you guys. Now, when you guys go in for training, or if you have already started training, the thing is that it comes up that there's somebody that's supposed to be training you that they just kind of, they treat training as like a joke. Okay, and so they're always busy, they're always sidetracked, they're always doing something else besides working on giving you training. They're always doing everything besides what they're supposed to be doing, and you're finding it really hard to stay excited about the position because it's like, I need to be trained in order to do this, okay? And what ends up happening is that this person will get offered another position in the company, and that's all they've been waiting on is for this position to open up. And so they're not taking training seriously because their only concern is to be involved in this new position. And so what they're doing is they're just kind of like biding time. Well, what happens is in the midst of training you, they get offered this position and they basically tell you that you have to go into another area of the company because they're not going to train you. And now you're frustrated. And so they tell you to go and talk to the HR lady, and HR basically tells you that you can have a position. Now, the two positions that came up was HR and the legal services. Okay, so maybe some of you guys are trying to get into human resources, or you're trying to get into legal services as well, which is fine. But what ended up happening for the person in my vision was this, is that they did, like, you don't want anything to do with these two positions. Like, I feel like you left those high stress positions to get involved in this, and I feel like it was a marketing situation or something that had to do with being artistic in the company that you're with. Very artistic, very open-minded, and they loved your ideas. They loved what you brought to the table. But now, because it was a lady in there, so because this person didn't want to train you because they're waiting for their own position to open up, it left you in a jam. Okay, and so what Source is saying is that don't be worried about this. It's going to seem like everything is falling apart. It's going to seem like you just got this opportunity for it to be ripped out from underneath you, like the tablecloth on the table with the plates and stuff on it. Like, that's what it really feels like. It feels like, geez, I just got into this. I just got into a place where I'm excited about what I'm doing. I'm excited about going in. I'm excited about having this opportunity. And Source is saying to stay excited because there's something that will happen. Now, when you go and you talk to HR, it's like you get really upset. Okay, and I just want you to know, like, there's this, however upset is for you, whether that's, crying and stuff like that. I wouldn't recommend crying, but you do try to speak your voice, okay? Like, you try to speak your truth. You're like, look, I was hired for this position. Now you guys are telling me that I can't have this position. And that is part of this process, is for you to speak your truth about it, to say exactly how you feel. Like, don't curse them out. Okay, again, keep it professional, but not being afraid to say what you need to say. In other words, like, why are you guys going to hire me for a position when, a day later or a week later, you're basically going to tell me that I can't have that position because the only person that you had that was available to train me was getting hired for another position? Like, that's on. So my mom always used to say, and I feel like this is so relevant to this situation here, is that poor planning on your part does not constitute panic on mine. You're in a business world. You need to make sure that you have your aspects covered in all places. Like, you need to make sure that if things aren't going to go through for one, you need to have a backup plan. And in this, they didn't have a backup plan. They basically were like trying to throw you into a department where they knew somebody could train you, even though you weren't qualified for it, even though you didn't want it, or even though maybe you are overqualified for the position that you're applying for, and your qualifications fall more in those HR and legal services, okay? But that's not what you want. And so don't settle. Source is saying don't settle. This is coming up as like a spiritual test, okay? So allowing this to arise, because it's seeing if you're willing to stand up for what you believe in. Are you willing to stand up for what you want? Or are you just going to fold and surrender and be like, lose all will towards what they said, because they're the ones paying you for your job and paying, signing the check? It doesn't matter. They don't have a right to treat you this way. They don't have a right to reassign you because they're the ones who don't know how to set up training. That's on them, okay? And so Source is saying, make sure you speak your mind here. Make sure you say the situation. So you're not actually talking to the person who hired you for the position, because the person, I feel like, who you talk to that hired you for the position is actually working in that department, okay? And there's a purpose I bring this up. However, you talk to HR, and it's interesting because what they said kind of really made me angry. And I'm not going to lie, like, it really made me angry, the way that they responded to you when you stand up for yourself. They're like, well, because of the situation going on around the world, they basically tell you that you should just be thankful that you even have a position to go to. And in that, also being sure that you make mention, it's like, yeah, but this is a position that I didn't want, and I wasn't hired originally for this position. And it was interesting because the way that you feel, it's like you want to tell this person that, how do you feel in going to a position that you die a little bit inside every day? And it's okay if you say something along those lines, finding a way to professionally present that. I think there's plenty of ways that you could professionally present that. And just saying that, I didn't sign up for a position that was going to make me miserable, which is why I left that industry in the first place. And you guys are offering something else. Again, you hired me. This is on you. You hired me for this other position. Okay? So then what ends up happening in this vision is that you leave the office and you go, and it's like you really want to cry. Like, you're really, really upset. There's tears on the edge of your eyes. And it's like, just the anger and the upset and the feelings that you have right now. And it's like, you're really mad. Well, what ends up happening is you run into the person who hires you. Okay. So again, I don't know who this is for. So I really hope this helps you out. Okay. I have no idea who this is for. But you end up running into the person who hired you. And this person also is having a very bad day. Like, you see them on the verge of tears. And you're like, wow, it seems like we're both having a really bad day. And they're like, what's going on with you? Like, I thought you were training. And you're like, yeah, I was, but then the person who was training me, they got offered another position, and now they're telling me that I have to go to HR, or I have to go to legal services, or I think maybe they're just saying these two departments to say that it's basically going from being a creator into paper pushing, okay? And that's not what you want. You didn't want that. And you told the person who hired you, you're like, I wanted this position that you gave to me because it was going to allow me to be outside of the box that I've normally been in. And this is what Source wants you to do. They want you to ask the person who hired you if there's a way they can set up you to train with another person. Okay, that's what they want. They want you to ask this person, will you please set me up with another person to train? It ends up working out, okay? There's also somebody that's very young that's involved in this, and all they want to do is get to know you. And Source is saying, be very careful, because this person wants to distract you from your work. Not in a malicious way or anything like that. It's just that they're still very young, and they're still very naive to the way that things work in the world. So it's like, this could be their very first job, or this could be like they're right out of fresh out of college, and they're still trying to treat it like college. And they just really like you, and they really like you because you shine so bright, and they have a lot that they want to get to know with you and trade with you. And, it's like trading secrets is what I heard. And they're saying, just take it easy, because this person can easily distract you from your position, and it could cost you the position altogether. So just, in small increments, like, hey, I've got a 10-minute break. I've got 5 minutes to talk to you. Like, don't tell them you've got a 10-minute break. Just be like, I've got 5 minutes to talk, or, what, let's reschedule later, or maybe get together after work. But they're going to be so excited that you're there at work that they want to distract you from your work. And they're very young. Like, it was presented as a child. Okay, like, it's in this vision presented as a child, but it's just showing that this person is very young, very innocent, very naive, not in a bad way. They're very just innocent in the way that they are, and they just want to learn from you, and they feel like you have so much to teach them. And it can really create a situation where they've distracted you so much from your position that you could potentially lose it. However, things will work out. You will get another person to train you for this position, so please do not give up hope. But in all of this, Source is saying to stand up for what you have asked for. This is a manifestation. This is a prayer being answered. And even though at first it might not seem like it's being answered, or like it was answered and then taken away, it's not getting taken away. It's just a test of your faith. Are you willing to still stand for what you want? Okay, so this could be anybody dealing with any kind of situation, really, at the end of the day. So there's so many situations that you could fit into that. And just being aware that it's okay, like, take it as it resonates. And then, what doesn't resonate, it just means that it was for somebody else. So these are very specific visions that come through. And I feel like some of them are for the collective, and I feel like there's so many others that are just for very pinpointed people. So keep it up. You're doing an amazing job. It was 11:11 on the clock. You guys won't see that because I do an intro on the video, but just letting you know it was 11:11 on the clock. So I hope this really helps you guys. It's an honor to do these for you, and I really, really appreciate your time. So that being said, I'm going to get on out of here, but go forth boldly, my fellow creators, and courageously find creative ways to rise above in life, laughter, and love until we meet each other again. Mwah. Peace out. I love y'all. Bye.